Hello guys and welcome to another race in the AOR GT3 Elite League on the PC platform on Project Cars. For this one, it is still Season 5 of course. We are at round 8 out of 12 of the season at Donington National for 60 laps, because it's a pretty short track, and as you will see in just a minute, in some pretty interesting, I guess we can say, weather conditions. Let's have a look at this then. What is that? A big just cloud of grey, because it's heavy fog out on track. Pretty dangerous conditions, you would say, if this was real life anyway. And the driver is certainly facing a big challenge there. And I'm Fizzy, of course, as always, and with me is Yorkie065.
Hello, sorry everyone for making the stream late. It was entirely my fault. I've been up in London, but I managed to get myself back and sorted just about in time for the action here in Donington.
I'm just gonna break it up, because we actually, even though we are like 5 minutes left in the qualifying session, we joined the track at a very, very interesting time. Just as you saw Kaki cross the line to take provisional pole, and then 5 seconds later you saw Gronstra cross the line to retake provisional pole after holding it so far this session. So Yorkie, as you can see, time's super close, and yeah, unfortunately we were a bit late, but I'm sure they can forgive you for that.
Yes. Unfortunately, the times for me aren't exactly in the right order. However, I shall roll with it for now. I can tell. Yeah, they are pretty close. Gronstra 102.940, and then Kaki was 103.078. So
Yep.
just over a tenth of a second between the two, which will make for a very, very interesting race, just like it was last time at Nürburgring. And yeah, we're going to be excited for this one. These rather tricky conditions with the very, very heavy fog. Very
heavy fog. You can barely see any cars from these cameras. I mean, they're blending in. Just once they get into the distance a little bit, they're blending in so much. Luckily, they have headlights on, so you can see them kind of a little bit more. It's going to be tricky though to see exactly what's going to go on at the start, especially when there's going to be cars all over the place. But you can see Brownski is back. After a race out when he was at the Belgian Grand Prix, so he missed Nordschleife. And of course, speaking of Nordschleife, such a different race to what we have today. Whereas on that one we had to double the qualifying session because the track was so long, and we had to wait like 15 minutes in the session to get a lap in. Here there were laps on the board after 3 minutes or less, because the lap times here, as you've seen, is just over a minute. And yeah, track very, very different as well. But of course, the weather conditions is the biggest challenge here today. Let's see, actually. Brownski is going to cross the line in just a second. He's currently P7 on the provisional grid. Can he improve on his 103.5? He can, unfortunately for him, not do that. So, Donington Yorkie, it's a track that we've been at a few times in the past. Always seems to offer up some interesting races, but how do you think these conditions will affect things today?
It will certainly make it interesting. Obviously, visibility is greatly reduced, although you can see 100, 200 meters maybe up in front of you, but you can't really see much beyond that. So hopefully the guys will have their headlights mapped to a button to turn those on and off.
Gronstra actually has not turned them off, I can see at the moment, unless it's just something on my screen. But
yeah, so that will obviously make it a lot easier for the drivers to actually be able to see each other if any chaos does ensue. But yeah, it's quite a short track, and we're actually running the national layout rather than the international layout, so we're missing out the 2 hairpins at the end of the lap. And instead of going left-right for the chicane, it goes right-left, and then back onto the start, finish straight. So a couple of overtaking opportunities possibly missed there, but there's a couple of other places around the circuit where overtaking and side-by-side battling can be done.
Yeah, you're obviously missing out on the 2 slowest corners from the normal layout, I guess you can say. So, you know, certainly, as you mentioned, a couple of overtaking opportunities potentially down the drain a little bit, but it's made it into a faster circuit overall, and probably more interesting to drive in a way, because obviously I certainly know from personal experience those hairpins can be a bit of a bitch in these cars, but you know, driver preference, I guess. Yeah, Gronstra currently just doing what he can to try and regain that provisional pole that Kaki is now taken back from him by 0.006 of a second. Jesus Christ, these two drivers are super close. And yeah, someone asked about Kanuma as well. Unfortunately, guys, it's a big blow for the championship. There's Kanuma, who's been the main challenger for Kaki all season long so far, until obviously he had a bit of a mare last time at Nordschleife, and he's now 29 points behind the championship. He's going to have a further massive blow, because unfortunately due to personal reasons he's had to miss the race here today. So Kanuma not on the grid, which allows Kaki of course to gain even further points on him, and Kanuma will probably have to concentrate on keeping hold of second place. Gronstra across the line for the final time in the session, does not improve on his P2, so Kaki then is on pole again by a super small margin. Papand, the next car then on the second row with Tipple there. Frede, Claessens, and then Brownski returns in 7th. Ycoms, Maisie and Hideaki running up to top 10. Then Martin van der Bent, the best of the rest in the way there. And TonyR all the way down in 18th, interestingly enough there. But we have 20 cars on the grid. Quite a few drivers missing. We already mentioned Kanuma, of course. And you have Klawutski, Jellyfish, Jinja, Nos, Wizard of Nos, and Puff Pirate, all missing out for various reasons here today. Bit of a bit of a fallout for some reason. I guess busy times with you know, the summer break just finishing for people and stuff probably. And unfortunately as well for the driver lineup, 2 drivers have announced that they are going to be pulling out for the rest of the season, and that is Ramibu and Today. And of course that is very unfortunate. 2 very good and clean drivers, but yeah, they just didn't have enough time to really commit to the league anymore. Yes. Oh, here we go.
There we go.
Yeah. So here we are then, on the grid. You can see a lot of red lights over there, and yes, the car in the back row, that's me. Unfortunately, I will not be driving, but 20 cars will here. And of course, the lights are out, but we are going to have a rolling start as usual. A manual rolling start. So let's get out on track, join on board with Kaki, our pole sitter. And let's see if we can see any cars here, Yoki, for this formation lap.
We can see a few, not many.
Few
I
outlines,
didn't actually
anyway.
realise that it was quite this bad, because as usual I was sat in the standing screen in the qualifying session, so this is my first time actually seeing just how bad the weather conditions are. And yeah, it's certainly foggy, let's put it that way.
Really? I hadn't noticed.
Yeah.
So, yeah. Procedure, it's going to be a shorter rolling start on New Zealand actually, because there's such a short lap. You can see all the cars coming through here now. And, Yoki, do you remember where the formation point is for this one?
Yes, Kaki will be coming up to it in about 50 meters or so, so yeah, the drivers are already starting to form up in 2 by 2. It is a very, like you said, it's a very short lap, so formation that will be relatively quick. Placed it there to make sure that all the drivers are able to filter through that right-hander there and get themselves ready and in position. The last little bit that they need to navigate is the chicane, and pretty much when they come out the exit of that and they go across the, I guess, the white lines, the cones on the left-hand side.
Can I see the white lines?
Yeah, where the other layout, the international circuit, kind of forms onto the start-finish straight. That will be the start of the acceleration zone, and then the actual start-finish line itself will be the other point, and the guys are now navigating the way through the chicane now.
They did spot the chicane at least, which is a positive.
Yep,
see then.
and we're going to be racing soon now.
There we go, Kaki's put his foot down, and he is ahead. Can Gronstra hold on to second, which will be important if he wants to challenge Kaki properly in this race. He's got Tipple not far behind, and they're side by side for third position there. That is a Papan surely, going up to third, just past Tipple.
Fred's spun off on the right-hand side. I believe he may have got a little bit of a cut track, and he's dropped way down the field. He was having a little bit of a look down the inside of one of the 2 roofs.
Almost looked like 4 wide back there towards the back of the field. But I think there's... Oh, there's a big incident actually! Big incident! Trying to pick out whoever that is off the track there. Certainly saw Bentley spun off, and a couple of more cars caught up as well.
AJ, I believe, Ycoms is... I think the main driver who caused that. Saw him go through, and then he had a little bit of a moment on the exit and kind of spun across the circuit. I believe he made contact with Martin van der Bent and AJ. Yep, AJ has resumed on.
Another car wide.
Well,
that is Rhaegar, Papan's teammate, who's gone wide. He was in the top 10, I believe, and now he's very much off the pace, going down this straight and into the chicane. Oh, one lap completed, and a side-by-side there, actually, between, is that TonyR and Fredde going side-by-side. Fredde's lost out in terms of pace on the exit. Tony's managed to hold on to his 12th position, and Fredde now under pressure as well from the Mercedes AMG of Centro, going into turn 1. Oh, my God! How much pace has Fredde managed to gain there on the straight? Did Tony let him through or something, York? I didn't see what happened there, but Fredde looked to be way back out of the chicane, but now he's past him.
Possibly. It seemed like the Z4 closed up an awful lot. Either that or just Tony struggled to spot the braking point and braked too early, essentially. And yeah, Fred had just pulled a nice move off right around the outside of TonyR there. It's I was going to say the field has spread out quite a lot already, but I think that partly would have been down to Ycoms having his earlier spin going through turn 4, so actually jumping up to Claessen's, having a look down the inside of Tipple into the chicane. Both of them coming very close to get a little bit of contact there between the two, but Claessen's for the moment going to slot him behind Tipple and follow him on the run down towards turn 1.
Indeed. So we're going to have to be very good at keeping an eye on battles there, because it's so hard to spot. Kind of normally we can kind of see when we're looking at someone and you can see stuff going on in the background and stuff. It's not going to be so easy to do that. But yeah, the top two still close together, so kind of a battle going on there, even though Grunster has yet to manage to find get himself close enough to actually challenge. And I can see that actually coming up to backmark here, not too far down the track here.
That might be AJ.
Yeah, one of the guys caught up in that incident at the start. Obviously, if they've had to pit for damage at this stage, they're going to basically lose a whole lap because it's such a short lap. So you'd imagine that might have been what has happened to AJ. Yeah, it's because he's going into the final chicane now, and you can see the leaders only a couple of seconds behind from lapping him. So Kalki and Gronstra on pace. It seemed a bit closer on quality times, really. In terms of the rest of the field's gap to these guys, but yeah, so far in the race, these guys have really managed to pull away. And of course, remember, 6,000ths of a second separated these guys in qualifying. But the race is a whole different thing. You saw Gronstra make a slight mistake there on the exit of turn 1. And it's those kind of things that really will separate these guys over the course of the race distance, Aoki.
Yeah, Gronstra ran out very wide, and I think Kalki ran out a little bit wide there coming through turn 4 as well. This has actually brought Gronstra back up onto the rear of Kalki for the moment. Kalki looking slightly defensive, but it could just be a variation in lines between the two drivers through that right hand, and then coming into the next one, coming very fine on the inside there. But I think Gronstra may have a little bit of a run as we see AJ getting well out of the way. That's going to be a pretty painful race for him, I think, if he's going to be constantly getting out the way of the faster guys behind him. Already a lap down, and he's got another 55 odd laps of doing so, unless he can keep pace with these front runners and somehow try and cover his race. I don't know, I'm not too sure what tyre wear is like around this circuit, whether they'll be needing to make a pit stop or not. Unfortunately, I haven't managed to get any of that kind of information before the start of the race. Well,
I'm sure we'll that'll be exciting to see then, if we will actually see cars going into the pits. Of course, back to 1 times higher we're here, and yeah, Kalki very much under pressure actually. Gronstra all over the back of him there. Kalki managing to hold on, but he's really gonna have to keep super focused there, not put a foot wrong in the slightest, because that means Gronstra will be able to slip through and on the exit there onto the what will be the longest straight actually on the track, I believe, on this configuration anyway. Down towards the chicane, and yeah, Gronstra looked very close, but didn't manage to really gain any ground on the straight there. Can he gain ground out of the chicane again? He's in that slipstream, but the Z4 not the best car on the straight. He's going to pull to the outside. Kalki forced to defend. They're going to be side by side going into turn 1 there. Can Gronstra pull off a miracle maneuver around the outside? Now he backs in and goes for the cutback maybe. Instead, try to get a better exit down the hill. But of course, very, very tricky to overtake, especially in these conditions. It is so tight and twisty part towards the bottom of the hill there.
Yeah, definitely. You can see that Gronstra seems to have the slightly better of the car as well. He is pushing the boundaries of the track limits a little bit here in places. Hopefully that will settle down as the laps continue to roll on. But Kaki certainly looking like he's coming under quite an awful lot of pressure, with Grons just sat right underneath his rear wing. I think Grons just probably trying to just bide his time a little bit and make sure that he gets the good exit to pick up the slipstream somewhere along the line on one of these relatively short straights. You would have thought that Grons would try and make the move under braking, probably into the chicane here is his best bet. Also on the previous lap, both the two drivers, Kaki and Gronstra, were braking at pretty much exactly the same time, and both of them made the corner, well, the inside of the corner perfectly fine. So yeah, at the moment it seems like the Z4 is looking quicker than the McLaren, but I'm not too sure if it can really pull in its main strengths, try and make an overtaking maneuver.
Yeah, we're just currently watching from on board Gronstra's front bumper as he's trying to desperately just try and put Kaki off, show himself in the mirrors a little bit. And look how close he's going up there. Oh, he's misjudged that one. He's way off the apex and he's gone wide. He's gone wide there at the top of the hill. That's going to cost him a lot of time. Can't get properly back on throttle until he's back on track, which he now is. And you can see Kaki's already gained a couple of seconds just because of that mistake. And that's what I was talking about. Though is these kinds of things, you know, qualifying pace is one thing, 6,000s apart between these two drivers, but in the race it's all about doing 60 laps with as few mistakes as possible, and now Gronstra actually has to focus on the car in third, which is Papand, who is now just behind. Yeah,
Papand's been setting a pretty good pace so far. He hasn't dropped off too far, and basically, like we saw, that one small mistake was enough to potentially get the get that back up to the rear of Gronstra, get that gap closed back up quickly. Went the wrong way through the cameras there. I did just see AJ was looking rather slow. Tipple currently holding a fairly lonely fourth by the looks of it, just dropping down the field as well, as we actually see Clarson's, and is that Maisie, I believe? Could be Mini Black and trying to wait for the camera to pick up.
I think it might be Mini Black.
Mini Black and yeah, Mini Black and Maisie having a side by side coming through turn 3 and down the hill. Sorry, turn 2 and down the hill into turn 3. Not too sure whether that was a trader position or whether it was Mini Black holding on to the position.
Might have passed him. Actually, I'm not quite sure on that one. But Mini Black, though, I believe he's gained 5 positions from where he started, actually. So it might well have been him passing Mason there, because he's certainly on a move up, you know, towards the front of the field. As we have side by side for 9th position, Hideaki. There's 2 Z4s there, Hideaki and Fredde, and they're going to be side by side again. Fredde, who had the better exit, as it looked like, and yeah, he's going to be in 9th position, going down towards turn 1 as well. Just about holding on to that one, and although he's looked like he's kind of sliding a little bit through that corner, but he's gained a lot of time on Hideaki, who's had a really, really poor exit there. So that's that battle over for now. So easy to make mistakes around there. We've seen quite a few in just the 9 laps in this race already.
Yeah. Sorry. Carry on, Fizzy. Carry on.
I didn't have too much more intellectual stuff to say, so you can say something.
Okay. I was just going to say, yeah, Hideaki's looking relatively unstable and wobbly at the moment. He got caught up on the curb in the chicane, which just lifted the inside of the car and cost him a decent exit, which allowed Fredde pass. But you said that Fredde was sliding through turn 1, but Hideaki looked like he was squirreling all over the place under braking and in the turning, which is why he was so much slower. And again, going through.
Yorkie, are you still okay? Either way, we're gonna look at TonyR, who's really under pressure here, actually. I don't know if he's got damage or anything from the first few laps shenanigans, but he's really, really defending from both of the Mercedes AMGs there. And he's actually forced Centro to have a bit of a dodgy line through the chicane, and he's going to lose 2 positions potentially as a result of it, both to his teammate Silver Arrow and also to Marty van der Bent, who's going to be on the inside out, as we've lost Yorkie for now, so he's fallen out of the commentary box window, so hopefully he's not injured. He'll surely try to climb back up there eventually. For now though, I'll try my best to guide you through all the action there, and yeah, there's certainly a bit of a TonyR train going on here, and Yeah, really, it's hard to really from this to see whether it's got any damage. It definitely looks like a few scrapes. I can just see a little bit through the fog there, a few scrapes on the front of Tony's car. So I wouldn't be surprised if he's really struggling with his car right now, and that's why he's holding up this train, because normally, knowing Tony, he tends to be further up the field in terms of pace anyway. Let's go back towards the front. Brownski now under pressure from Claessens. Obviously, Claessen's dropped a couple of positions, I believe, from where he started as well. He's made one of them back. And now he's made his way past Brownski as well, who made a mistake down there. Camera angles really didn't help us there. But somewhere while the cameras were switching, Brownski must have made a mistake. And Claessen's now back up to 5th. Yorkie, are you live?
I am. My internet's not, though. It's dead. I have no idea what's going on, but
does that mean you've dropped from the session?
I have indeed, yeah.
Damn it. Well, so, 40 laps with one set of eyes in the fog is going to be interesting then.
Yeah. So you're on your own for this one. I'll hang around, and if you feel like asking me anything, I would be more than happy to answer any questions. But yeah, I'll hang in the chat and let you do your work.
What's going on with your internet? Please fix. But
I don't know.
Clearly missed you while you were in with London, and now it's demonstratively turning himself off to just let you know that he's not happy with you leaving the house. But yeah, let's go through the field, see if there's any close battling going on. Mini Black got Maisie not too far behind. Fred in the Hideaki still holding on. Blue Rat in a solid 11th position actually, and Van de Bent's now part. Oh, something happened to Tony. As Ycoms and Vrager are side by side. As well as that turn 1, I can barely see what corner it is. I think it was turn 1. Vrager passing Ycoms there possibly. Certainly is ahead now. Let's figure out what's happened to Tony. He's in the pit lane. So has Tony retired, or is that a tactical? No, he's moving again. So that is just a pitch up to presumably fix the damage that I think he was struggling with. But he's obviously now going to be a lap down on the leaders, and quite a few of the cars actually. I think he's kind of fallen into somewhere in the top 10, but obviously just a lap down. That's kind of the annoyance with pit stops on a track as short as this, and we don't even know if everyone, you know, if they stay out of trouble in terms of damage, will they be able to go the whole distance without pitting? There is still a chance for that as well, even though that's I think that's going to be a bit of tyre management involved if they are going to zero stop here. We'll have to see how that one pans out. Let's go on board with Maisie for a bit as he's trying to close down on Brownski, just to get a bit of a feel for what these cars are seeing. Obviously the drivers in the cockpits will have their views even more obscured, just from the fact of the you know, the inventory of the cars being in the way as well. In a way, they're seeing through the much smaller windscreen. But at least when you're this close behind another car, you can see them reasonably well there in front of you, especially on the braking where their red lights are flashing up. So yeah, just to recap a little bit, we are in the middle of round 8 out of 12 for the season. So after this, only 4 races to go in the season. And of course, in terms of the championship at the front, Kaki has got that very much under control right now. This man is not only running a perfect race here so far, he's also had a big boost in terms of his biggest championship rival throughout the season, Kanuma. Unfortunately, having to miss the race here today. Big shame, of course, personal issues getting in the way on that one. Kaki can really take it quite easy here, but you can actually see Grunster, I believe, is after his mistake on like lap 5 or 6, he is trying to close the gap back up. I think he's closed a little bit. He certainly pulled away from Papand, who he was with after he made that mistake, and he actually so Grunster's best lap in the race is 2/10 quicker than Kaki's. However, Kaki was 4/10 quicker on the previous lap, so I guess it's fluctuating a little bit just based on who can remain consistent. So yeah, it's clear Grunster has the pace in there to be faster than Kaki, but so far in the race, Kaki's been the most consistent out of the two. Papan actually running third in the race. I believe he's also the man third in the championship, unless Gronstra... Actually, Gronstra might have passed him after winning the previous 2 races in a row. Unless I'm mistaken. Quickly gonna check that actually. Oh yeah, Gronstra has 2 consecutive race wins on the bounce actually, going into this race. So clearly he's in good form. But got a hard work out of him if he wants to catch up to Kaki. He's still got a like 3/4 of the race to go. So he doesn't need to get desperate just yet. Oh, and we jump back to Maisie and he's side by side there with Fredde going through turn 1. Fredde really doing well to haul it around the outside. And there's going to be side by side down the hill. Are they? No, Macy slots in behind. That was impressive for Fredde. Macy looked to have that move on the control going into turn 1 when we skipped onto them. But Fredde around the outside, pulling off, for those who watch our iRacing League, the classic Phil Reed special. Beautiful moves around the outside. It's basically the synonym for that. And Fredde doing one of those today. These guys then in 8th and 9th at the moment. Hideaki still holding on to 10th, while Blue Rat has some work to do if he wants to get into the top 10 for the first time this season. Actually, Blue Rat hasn't had a top 10 this season so far, and even finishing 11th where he is right now would be personal best result for him this season. The Blue Rat looking pretty good. Martin van der Bente running 12th ahead of Andrex, then Centro. 2 Mercedes AMGs running close together, although the camera here is really messing up. You can see them there, the 2 Mercedeses. Mercedeses? Is that how you say it? Oh my word! Oh, speaking of... Oh, never mind. That must have been lag. Silver Arrow going completely off the track and smashing the Project Cast advertising board there. But now he's back on track and looking completely fine. Although...
How dare he?
Yeah. I wouldn't say completely fine, actually. Yeah, that car is pretty scraped. Yeah, I'm sure it didn't mean any harm, Yoki, from smashing the Project Cars at board there.
Okay. I'll have words after the race.
Yes. So yeah, Rhaego then, just behind him as well, running in a final points position at the moment. Ycoms not having a good day today either. He was struggling a bit at Nordslife as well, where he had a problem with his wheel. Oh, I saw something! Did I see something? Yes! Silver Arrow off the track! You can see him way in the background there, trying to get his car going again. He's made a mistake. Wherever on the track we are we at the bottom of the hill? It's possible to see. But yeah, Silver Arrow is going to drop out of the points as a result of that, and Ycoms into the points. TonyR, the only man alongside AJ, we believe, who was pitted so far in this race. He's 18th at the moment, but might well... Well, he's certainly going to be hoping that more cars will be pitting in the race, so that he might get some positions back. But TonyR, a day to forget for him so far. And then just Janetta, last man running on track because AJ has retired to the garage, unfortunately. But that's the status, and those of you concerned about Yorkie's well-being, he is still alive. He just fell out of the commentary box. So,
yeah.
Hope that didn't hurt too badly, as I believe that's Ycoms letting Kaki through. Going a lap down there, and immediately letting Gronstra through as well. So not taking any chances, even though those cars are a few seconds apart still. Ycoms just being nice and making sure to not get in the way. Obviously, Nordslife, I don't believe we see so single car lapped, which is obviously unsurprising considering the length of that lap, whereas here, just 19 laps in, we've already seen quite a few cars being put 1 lap down. I believe 15 cars though remain on the lead lap at the moment. Gronstra still trying to close that gap. Oh my word! Is this correct? Because it says on the previous lap, Kaki and Gronstra did exactly the same lap time. Both a 1:03.944. Let's see on the next lap though. That is crazy actually, if that's the case. On the same lap and doing the same lap time, that is insane. Now though on this one, Kaki going half a tenth quicker than Gronstra. So very, very close between those two. Gronstra will just be hoping that Kaki makes a mistake similar to what he did earlier. I'm going to quickly jump down to Tipple, who I feel might be under pressure.
It looks like it in the standings from the
I assume you're in the stream right now. Yeah, actually, yeah. If you can just keep an eye on that, obviously, for us, the standings on the stream will be about 20 seconds delayed, so that's why it's a bit difficult for us to use them in terms of live timing. Unfortunately, that the standings that you see on the left-hand side is not visible for us in the game. But of course, it's great to have as a bit of a reference to see who is in close contentions, even though we can't see exactly when passes are being made, if they are being made off camera. So yeah, Tipple under pressure from Claessens, who, I think Claessens, as he's done a few times previously, I feel, he had a few errors there in the first few laps, dropped a few positions, but then is now on the way to work his way back up again. I believe he qualified around 5th, Arias, and of course looking to gain another position then by passing. Actually, it says Claessens gained a position of where he qualified, so I guess he qualified 6th then, and looking to move himself up to 4th, past Tipple. So the top 4 in the race right now, all in the position where they qualified. Claessens then looking to change that one. Yeah, let's go on board again. I think, unfortunately, this is the best on-board angle you have from the spectator caps at the moment. So you can't see any of Claessens' car, but you can see the view just from his front bumper, which certainly gives us a bit more colours to look at, because you can see the car ahead of him a little bit more clearly than what you do from the TV cameras. So through the final chicane, getting nicely on the throttle there. Look, you can visibly see that he's gaining time on Tipple coming towards turn 1. Tipple already feeling the need to go defensive there, allowing Claessens to get the wider entry, and Tipple's gone really, really deep there as well. Claessens going to be side by side. Let's cut back to these cameras as they're going to go down the hill. And Claessens, can he get the momentum enough? Tipple nearly touching side post there, but he's forced to back out of it and stay behind, or let himself be overtaken, in fact. So Tipple down to 5th, unless he can come back. Actually, he's trying to pop his nose up a little bit here. It's going to be a right-hand corner up this hill. If he can stay alongside it, he can. Tipple fighting back here and getting the inside line, getting the position back. Can Claessens capitalize with a cutback? And he can. It is the really, really good battling here in these conditions as well. Tipple holding it on the outside now, nearly contact between the two, and Tipple maintains the position. Fantastic racing from these guys on lap 14, I believe, or 24 even actually, as we had 60 laps to start with, so we're getting close to the halfway point of the race. But yeah, Tipple, if he's gonna be holding on to this 4th position and doing this all the rest of the race, well, I'd be mightily impressed. But for now, he's done a really, really good job of holding on from Claessens here. As he's sliding out through turn 1. Well, let's just have a... I'm gonna let you just stay on board with Claessens for a bit while I take a sip of some water.
That was actually quite an interesting battle, just watching that back through. I think there may have been a little bit of a touch between Tipple and Claessens, as Tipple gave Claessens a little bit of a squeeze going through the right-hander leading onto the back straight. I think as they came out for the exit, there may have been a little bit of door rubbing there, but still, very, very nice move by Tipple to get the good run coming out of turn 4 and get that rather nice... Yeah, that rather nice run under the braking zone underneath the Z4 to take the position back.
Indeed. As I also believe I saw Mini Black potentially passing... Oh, Fredde passing Mini Black for 7th potentially, as we see a Mercedes backmarker getting out of the way for these guys battling for 4th. I'm going to quickly check in on that actually. So we have Brownski running P... Fredde, yeah, Fredde and Mini Black and Macy actually super close in a trio going on from 7th down to 9th. This could be quite interesting. Yeah, I do think Fred just made a move on Mini Black, unless I'm completely mistaken on that one. And Maisie looking to join in the action as well. So now going to go on board with him down the hill. Such a tricky section. It's already hard enough to spot this corner here. The turning point and braking point for it, and certainly in these conditions it's not going to make it any easier for these guys.
Just point out that Andrex and Martin van der Bent are also pretty close as well, battle for 12th position.
Interesting. If the cameras can pick them up, and I just saw them in the background there. I think actually no, that's someone else. Andrex is not that close anymore. Andrex is ahead of Martin van der Bent. I thought I saw some close racing back there, but it might just have been someone being lapped or something. I'm not quite sure actually. But actually, towards the back end of the points, we have some cars close together. Ycoms, Martin van der Bent, Rhaegar, they're close with Centro. Actually, why was Van der Bent down in 15th? That's where... Oh, he's retired to the pits! Oh my word. I did not see, through all the fog, what happened to Martin van der Bent. But he's back in the pits, he's retired from the race. A second retirement then. Which is very, very unfortunate, of course. Must be the best of the season for him, as there's action in the background. Or was that someone being lapped again? I think it was. Papan making it... No, actually. No. That is Rhaegar. And Centro, I believe, being passed, potentially. That's confusing, because obviously Rhaegar running the same livery as Papan, who is in 3rd place, who is just behind these guys now. A lap ahead. But yeah, let's actually see what's going on in the battle. For 7th. Already looking to be pulling a gap on Mina Black and Maisie. Little bit. Maisie trying to get close enough to Mina Black for a move, and then we need to keep an eye on the battle for 4th as well, of course. Where Tipples now managed to establish a little gap, although I did see some smoke kicking up there. Not sure if he was slightly off the track there with the tire, or just locking up on the braking, which I can't imagine was, because there's not much of a braking zone going into that so-called old hairpin, which is far from a hairpin. But yeah, Tipple really just having to stay very focused there to stay ahead of Claessens. And unfortunately, I'm looking at... Oh, okay, that's fluctuating quite a bit on the timings on the stream. But I feel like, has Kaki pulled more of a gap on Gronstra? Let's check the previous lap time. Oh, wow, yeah.
A little bit.
Yeah, he's gained a lot of time on the previous lap. Kaki did 103.9, and Gronstra was 7/10 of a second slower. So he has had a minor mistake somewhere going on there. It doesn't look like Gronstra at the moment is really catching up to Kaki. Did look like for a little bit that he was gonna have a chance of doing it. Kaki now having to navigate some slower traffic. BMW M3 getting nicely out of the way. No problems there. And then you can see 2 backmarkers now between Kaki and Gronstra. And then Papan only a couple of... actually, that's again confusion between liveries. Papan about 4 seconds maybe behind Gronstra. And about to lap his teammate Rhaegar in the race. And back to Tipple. And he's very much got Claessens all over him still. Here in the battle for 4th position, which I believe is... As I say that, Claessens has a really poor exit out of the chicane, which has kind of thwarted any hopes he might have had of trying to make a move out of the chicane there. So yeah, we are getting very close to the halfway point in the race, and field is spreading out a little bit overall, but I think nice to see there's still a few battles going on. And again, I can only apologise for the lack of colours on the stream. These foggy conditions kind of annoying both as a viewer, I'd imagine, and certainly as a commentator. But yeah, drivers at least getting a taste of something different compared to usual, I guess it's fair to say.
Yep, and I can only apologise for a lack of a second commentator.
Ah, yes.
The internet is terrible. Yeah, sorry guys.
Breaking news.
So busy.
Breaking news on deadline day. His internet is terrible and needs to be transferred. So,
hashtag find a new home for Yorkie.
yes. We should set up a donation fund or something to get you some better stuff on there. Unless it's like an area restriction there. I know quite a few people in the UK I speak to in terms of internet are like restricted in their area in terms of upgrades. And I feel sorry for you.
Yeah, at the moment I can't I can't upgrade. I could probably switch providers, but living with the parents, it's down to them really. Although some things will be happening in mid-September, which hopefully would mean I get basically my own outdoor office with my own internet and stuff like that, so I can have whatever I want and yeah, be much more reliable.
Freedom.
I guess in every way. Yeah.
A faster internet is freedom in my book.
Yes, definitely.
Or at least a more efficient freedom. But yeah, still watching Claessen's just struggle to get close to Tipple and then struggle out of the chicane again. Really wiggling all over the place on the exit. Claessen's he's looking fast, but not out of the chicane. That's one area where he's really struggling at the moment. There was a car a lap down there, I believe. Might have just come out of the pit lane. Let's try to figure out who that was. Go down the field. Fredo has still a gap to Mini Black, and I believe it was TonyR a lap down between them. It was depicted quite a few laps ago. We think due to fix some damage. Blue Rat's currently then in the top 10 for the first time this season, which would be a great result for him. But I do feel like a few cars now might have pitted ahead of him, which is why he's moved up a couple of positions. So I'm going to try and figure that out. Let's see, actually he might have gained a position from Martin van der Bent. I can't remember if he was ahead of him, but he's obviously retired in the last few laps. And yeah, Maisley's definitely dropped down. He was in the battle for 8th just a moment ago. He made a mistake.
132 was his last lap. I can see on the stream at the moment, so
right, yeah.
Pit stop, I think.
That might have been a pit stop, yeah. I'd imagine the pit stop time here wouldn't be too much, actually, yeah. So Maisley might have made a pit stop then. Just put him.
Seems about right.
Yeah. Put him out of the top 10 for now. But he'll be on fresher tyres, of course, compared to the cars ahead. And it's... let's see if anyone else will be pitting. Ycoms being lapped again. Rhaegar now back up to 12th. As a result of others pitting, Centro there. Hideaki is dropped to 14th, you'd assume through a pit stop as well. We as well were in the top 10 previously. TonyR is up to 15th, so back in the points. It's really tricky to kind of figure out where everyone is on track relative to each other, because I'm skipping onto a car and I'm trying to figure out where they are on track, and it's so hard to like see the landmarks, I guess you can say, in this condition. At least you can see the chicane here. These guys are coming through the chicane. But the car ahead of Tony is not a car that he's actually racing with. It would be a car that is a lap ahead, I'd imagine. Because Hideaki, the next man up the road for him, is quite a distance ahead, and then Centro is somewhere lapping Dangerous Gianetta there. So yeah, let's just try. Oh, Alfredo there in the pits. So okay, that's good. We know he's pitting then. And Bransky's up to 4th. Papan down to 5th, so he's definitely pitted. Tipple's definitely pitted. This is 7th now. And of course, that's interesting because Claessen's, who was battling with him before, has not pitted yet, and he's now in 3rd as a result of those two pitters. And is he going in? Yeah, so Claessen's pitting actually. Let's stay with Claessen's then, because he was super close with Tipple before. Tipple now has pitted a lap earlier, which means he'll have had a lap on fresher tires. Will that have given him an advantage? Actually, Jorgi, I can't remember. When you come out of the pits on this, will it give you cold tires, or are they reasonably warmed up?
They should be warm.
They should be warm, yeah.
They
so
do, yeah.
Might have had an advantage.
Tyre blankets. The race series does have tyre blankets, so they should be warm when you come out of the pits.
Which means, theoretically, I believe, Tipple should have had an advantage by pitting a lap earlier. But where is he? He is behind, I believe. Oh, he's in the pits again! Tipple's in the pits now. After, we believe he just had pitted on the previous lap. Unless he made a mistake on that lap. But something's definitely happened for Tipple to pit again here. and losing a lot of positions, dropping down the field now. It's a big shame, of course, kind of ruining the battle that he would have had, presumably still with Claessens. But yeah, major frustrations. Something's happened to Tipple that we haven't quite seen, and he's nearly out of the points now. He's losing so much time in the pits. Unless he's had a bug there, maybe. I really do not know, because he's been stationary for a long time. But Kaki, I believe, has not yet pitted. Gronstra has, because he's dropped behind Brownski. And Kaki's still carrying on without pitting. And of course, knowing Brownski, he's definitely going to carry on without pitting. But obviously, we remember last season when we also were running realistic tyre wear. Brownski was kind of the zero-stop maestro, I guess you can say. He usually pulled off really strong results after not stopping when a lot of other drivers felt the need to stop. Brownski being clearly good at nursing those tyres to the end of the race. At the moment, Kaki looking to do the same, I believe. Yep. Still out on track. So that could be very interesting towards the end of this race, whether Brownski will be able to hold, or like... Actually, he definitely will not be able to hold on to second, because Gron's just right there on the back of him. And Papan as well, not too far behind, but it's interesting to see how many positions Brownski can hold on to, I guess. Because he was 6th before all the pit stops started happening, so if he can stay above 6th till the end of the race here, he'll certainly have pulled off a strategy that has worked out well. But for now, he's going to have to have his hands full with Gronstra, unless he's just going to think ahead and not lose himself too much time by battling him. Which remains to be seen now. Gronstra certainly all over him. Coming onto the straight, heading down towards the chicane. Let's see. Will he be able to pull alongside? They're in the same car, of course, both in the BMW Z4s. Z4, and yeah, Gronstra's through. Up to second again for him. Another interesting dynamic then is this will be like a true judgment again as to what tyre strategy will work, because Gronstra now on the fresher tires and pretty similar pace to Kaki. Will he be able to catch up to him, or at least get as close as he was by the end of this race? That's something we're gonna have to keep an eye on. But for now, we can also see Papand as well coming up to Brownski on the fresher tires. Will he be able to make that move stick nicely and efficiently? Just looking at the timing as well, there doesn't seem to be any super close battles elsewhere in the field, so we can stay on board with this one safely, I believe. And then we'll go through the full order, try to get an overview now that at least those who will have chosen the pit presumably have all gotten their pits out of the way by now. So yeah, almost looks like Brownski lifted there for Papa, and he might just have done that just to not lose himself any time. He's clearly thinking of the long game here. He feels like he would be fighting a losing battle with Papand. If he tried to hold him off, he's still got a lot of time to go in the race. 23 laps now remaining. But let's see, what's the gap for him to Mini Black? Mini Black coming to the chicane now. Unfortunately, the car behind him is not battling with him for position. That is, that would be Silver Arrow a lap down. Yeah, Mini Black now at turn 1. Brownski now at the bottom of the hill there. So I would say that's about 10 seconds or so between them. Yeah, so Mini Black will be trying to get that. Actually, has Mini Black pitted as well? No, I think actually, I think Mini Black might have also not pitted, because I swear he was further down as well previously, so that's interesting. He might not be catching Brownski then. Claessens certainly, though, has pitted. We saw him in the pits even. So Claessens will be looking to get past both Mini Black and Brownski to get back up to 4th, which is the position he was fighting with Tipple for previously. So just dropping down the field, Andrex now running 7th. And not too far ahead of his teammate Maisie, only a second or so between those two. Breda in 9th as well, not too far behind. Rhaegar in 10th. Diaki at the bottom of the hill there. it's so confusing because there's some cars on the lead lap, some cars getting lapped. You saw Dangerous Gianetto there getting on the way, getting lapped. Blue Rat unfortunately is now pitted as well and out of the top 10 again. But still though, 12th would just about be a personal best finish of the season for him. And he's only... yeah, he's right. Well, actually, no, that's again a back marker between them. So he's a couple of seconds or so behind Hideaki. But he's going past. Who's that he's going past? Could be no. Not quite sure who got lapped there, or did Blue Rat get unlapped? That's where that was either Mini Black or Brownski. Definitely looked at the livery. Yeah, I think Brownski just let Blue Rat unlap himself on the fresher tires, which is interesting. So check in on Tipple a little bit. He's out on track again, luckily, so he's not retired after whatever major problem he had previously. But yeah, having a tough time at the moment. And ooh, and this is a battle for position. Oh my word, we have a battle for position, guys. For 14th position, Centro having just let Kaki through there actually. And as a result of that, losing time and dropping into the clutch of Tipple. Oh, and he's made a mistake there. Centro's off the track completely at the bottom of the hill. You could just see it with a bit of smoke kicking up, and he's going very, very slow here. And he's let his teammate through, although that wasn't all, again, not on the same lap. I think Silver Arrow is actually a further lap down. So Silver Arrow 2 laps down. But yeah, that was annoying. I thought we were going to have a battle. God damn it. But yeah. Yogi, by the way, feel free to shout up if you see on the timing there, even though that's 20 seconds delayed for us. So feel free to, if you see any time close together.
Maisie and Andrex see the closest people I can see.
Oh! Oh, that was perfect timing! Maisie's just gone through him. And I think they're being interrupted. No, they're not being interrupted. That's Freddy. They're battling for position. There's a three-way battle here. I'm not quite sure why Andrex was going so slow on the straight towards the chicane. But certainly dropping position to both Maisie. I don't know if he... Oh, and actually Freddy... Oh, and he's going around the other side of turn 1. He's done the move again. He did it previously in the race as well. But can he hold on to it this time? Oh, there's a bit of side... or door banging there as well, but Fred just about managed to keep momentum even out of turn 1 there to get that position done. Second round the outside move is pulled there today. Fantastic racing from Freddy, and in the space of just a lap, I believe, he's passed both of the BMW M3s here. So Freddy looking super strong. His best lap in the race as well, very strong. The only one apart from the top 4, I believe, who is in the 103s in the race. I guess Freddy a little bit out of position in terms of his pace. Best lap time better than both Mini Black and Brownski's running ahead, which is actually unsurprising considering those two have still yet to stop. And why is Brownski in 6th? Brownski has decided to stop. He's just come out of the pit lane. So Brownski, I would assume, he tried to go for the zero stopper, but has come to the conclusion now that the tires aren't gonna last. But he's only dropped 2 positions then from doing that pit stop. Claessen's as well is up to 4th. Has he passed Mini Black on track?
I was going to say earlier when it looked like Birat unlapped himself from Brownski that I think Brownski was going to struggle to get to the end of the race on the zero stop. I don't think where the lap's so short and it's so fast that it does rely on a good set of tyres, you'll lose an awful lot of time trying to basically trundle around on tyres that are completely worn out. So yeah, although he may have had the track position, he wouldn't have really had the tyres compared to everyone else the time to fight it, essentially.
Yeah. I could understand Brownski's reasons to be there, just definitely as a result of that, and just, you know, he only dropped down to 6th anyway, which is where he was before he pitted. He hasn't lost anything overall by doing those extra laps on the 1 tyres. And of course now we can enjoy the final 17 laps a bit more, I guess, with a bit more grip in the car. Which also gives him less of a chance of making mistakes, I suppose. But yeah, Andrex really seems to be struggling. I'm not quite sure if he's pitted that either. be honest.
He may have had a lot of damage. I saw when you cut back to Andrex and Maisie Andrex had an awful lot of damage to the rear of his car, so...
Scrapes both on the front and the rear, I'm seeing. So yeah, Andrex could be struggling then. And where's Rhaegar compared to him? It's hard to figure out. He's okay, so he's there. Not quite sure what corner that is. But I kind of know where on the track it is. So then, is Andrex on the way down to the chicane? Possibly? I believe he is, yeah. So Andrex has got a reasonable gap to the next car behind, though. About 10 to 15 seconds, somewhere in there. Quick update on the front then. Clearly, you can see on lap times that Gronstra is a lot faster than Kaki at this moment in time. Kaki is still hanging in there, I believe, for that one-stopper. So he's trying to do what Bransky decided was not the best thing to do. Previous lap, 1:04.7 for Kaki. Gronstra a second and a half nearly faster than that. But obviously, without having pitted, Kaki had obviously gained a humongous gap as a result of it. So the gap between us two, probably around 25 to 30 seconds, actually.
30.8 showing on the stream.
Alright. So I don't think Kaki will be too worried. Even though he's gonna be having to watch his tires and manage them, he has the gap required at the moment to really allow him to take it easy. And Gronstra definitely needs to close the gap a little bit faster than by 1.2 seconds per lap, which is what he's doing at the moment. Yeah, essentially Gronstra needs to close 30 seconds in the last 15 laps. He needs to close 2 seconds per lap. So it'll be hard. He'll certainly give it his best go. Really strong pace from at the moment in the race. So then, let's try to figure out if any cars are close together. And I feel like the answer is no at the moment. That was anticlimactic. From what I can see, the closest cars. Bransky and Freda, possibly?
Freda, yeah. It's those two, about 1.5 to 2 seconds.
Yeah. You can see Freda. Just as the screen cuts away there, a couple of seconds, just under 2 seconds, I would assume. Behind. How are they doing on lap times? Pretty similar, both in the low 104s. It doesn't look like Freda is really catching at the moment. Obviously, Bransky will be on even fresher tires at this moment, obviously because of doing that very late pit stop. But we know Freda also has shown really good pace. His best time in the race now, 103.6, so he has the pace in him. He's actually, yeah, Freda has got the third best lap of the race, actually. There's clearly pace there, but can he match it close like after Bransky? That's a big question, of course. Let's check as they come towards the line again to see what the previous laps were. Seeing in the chat, FFF Quizok. I'm not quite sure how to pronounce that, but hopefully that was okay. Saying that Bransky is really catching on a mini black, which is interesting.
Yeah, Bransky's got the fresher tires, of course.
Yeah, mini black. Mini Black and Kaki, I believe, the two guys not have pitted. So yeah, Bransky only 3-4 seconds maybe behind Mini Black. Let's see if we can see Mini Black somewhere in the front. Is that him there?
4 seconds around.
Yep. That could be interesting, especially if Freda comes with him. Maybe make it a three-way, although of course Mini Black and Bransky are teammates. So if there might be, you know, if Bransky comes up to him and they're clearly faster, there could be a chance that he would let him through, just for the sake of Freda being close behind and not Mini Black not backing Bransky into him. And especially considering Bransky was ahead of Mini Black as well before those pit stop decisions were made. So that will be interesting, certainly. good previous lap, actually. Wow! 2.5 seconds faster than Mini Black on that lap, so it's only going to be a matter of a lap or two for Bransky to close that gap now. Mini Black really is the slowest man on track, apart from Ycoms and then just Janetta, who are the two guys at the back. Oh, and Silvero actually. Silvero's is going with a lap number 113.4. So he's probably a few laps down by now. Not quite having the day of his life, but that is how it is. So investigating the lap times there. Yeah, Bransky looks slightly faster than Fred at the moment, but both of those guys catching in on Mini Black. And then Maisie looks faster than Andrex, of course, who we think is struggling with damage. And Andrex really was actually faster than Rhaegar on the previous lap as well. I don't think he'll be fearing any threat from him anytime soon. TonyR up to 13th after his early struggles. Tipple in 14th at the moment. And yeah, but we can see now, and look how fast they're closing Mini Black, and he's already let Bransky through right away, no hesitations whatsoever. Right away, Bransky caught up, Mini Black just let him blast straight to him, past him anyway. Not sure if he would have had much choice, even if he had tried to fight that one, to be honest. But of course, now the interesting part is how quickly he'll allow Fredde to get through. Will he try to help Bransky by forcefully defending from Fredde, who is now right behind? And Fredde being direct racing rival to Bransky in terms of them having similar lap times and a pretty close gap between them. Let's just go on board with the front bumper of Fredde and just get a proper view of how close it's actually, or actually how fast it's actually closing here. Being very close on the exit, and of course with the fresh tires you will have better traction zones out of corner like that. Getting now in the slipstream, these are both running the same car as well, the BMW Z4. Not gaining through there too much, surprisingly. That's a corner where you definitely need good grip for the turn-in. But now they're under brake. Oh, and there was a contact there. Oh, he's backed out of it, and Mini Black's off, and Fredde is way down. Mini Black spun it. It's all kicking off. It's all chaotic here. It might have looked like a slight touch from Fredde, and Mini Black dropped another position. He's down to 8th. That is Maisie having taken advantage. That is also gone past Fredde, because Fredde taking responsibility for that. As is he waiting? He's certainly going slowly here. He's let someone go past. That might be Gronstra going past, one of his teammates. Either Gronstra, you would assume Gronstra if he's been lapped. And Maisie also letting Gronstra through. Gronstra, of course, still running in 2nd place and trying to close that gap to Valky. That was hard to see what exactly went on, but I think there might have been some slight contact between Fredde and Mini Black. Whether it was a case of Fredde braking too late there, or Mini Black braking, cautiously because of his tire situation, I do not know. Either way, be the drama.
Looked like there was definitely contact to me. Obviously, just saw it, and yeah, the closing speed was quite high. I don't know whether actually there may not have been contact, and they just somehow managed to avoid each other. But yeah, Mini Black possibly losing the rear end of the car on the grass or something like that. I'm sure we'll find out after the race, but. Yeah, I'm just. Did Fredde let Mini Black back through?
No, he has not.
Hasn't yet. Okay.
And Fredde is now actually very close behind Maisie again. Yeah, Maisie gained those 2 positions. Fredde was going really, really slow after that incident. Oh, that was nearly another incident. He's absolutely dive bombed him into turn 1 there. Whew. I think Maisie saw him coming though, managed to turn out of it enough for there not to be a contact there. But Fredde has forcefully reclaimed that position up to 6th again. Bit nosy. But yeah, Maisie doing well to spot it. And Fredde probably feeling like he is the faster driver at this moment in time. So Freddie getting caught up in a bit of action here. Let's have a look down the field. The gap between Kaki and Gronstra is really coming down, I believe. Although unfortunately for Gronstra, probably not fast enough for him to really have a chance. See, Kaki here, of course, is still very nicely on the track. He's not fallen off the track yet at all, as far as I've seen anyway. Still running on the tires that he started the race with. So we're surely wary of the potential lack of grip that he might be facing towards the end here. And probably just taking it a bit easy. The gap between him and Gronstra is somewhere between 15 and 20 seconds. So yeah, with just 7 laps to go, I think that's pretty much it for Gronstra's chances. Unless Kaki makes a horrendous mistake on those worn tires. Papansila running in the final podium position. Larsen's now by himself in 4th after Tipple dropped out of that battle earlier. Bransky in 5th on the fresh tires. And Black still running in 8th, so he's not had any further dramas, at least after his previous spin. Andrex in 9th, Hideaki 10th. Bluvert has gained a position up to 11th, and that is because he's got Rhaegar just behind. I can't remember.
Blue Rat was in 11th earlier on in the race.
Was he? Yeah,
before
earlier in the race.
Faces.
Yeah. I swear he's been in 12th since then.
Blue Rat did it. I don't know about. I'm sure Rhaegar probably did as well.
Doesn't really matter. He's actually very close behind Hideaki. Oh my word!
Yeah, he is.
I thought Blue Rat was gonna do a bit of a Freddy there up the inside of turn 1, but he thought better of it, actually. What is this then going on? Oh, that was not a battle for position. That is Rhaegar and a car that is on a different lap. But actually, yeah, let's focus on Blue Rat and Hideaki then for a bit. They're getting very close. Has Hideaki pitted? Is a good question. I believe he has, but he seems to be struggling at this point.
He is on a controller. That could be a factor in the tyre wear.
Yeah, controller users tend to have higher tyre wear throughout the race, and of course, though the tyre wear at this stage, when you have pitted, will be far less than what it's been previous seasons when the times 2 tyre setting was on. Still could be a problem, and you know, a difference between high tyre wear and low tyre wear at this stage of the stint as well. He went so defensive there into turn 1, but Blue Rat didn't get close enough to really challenge him. He's getting close down the hill though, but it's so hard when you're going down here. You can just see it to actually spot the turn-in point. Oh, and there's a bit of a slide. Unfortunately, Blue Rat's not been able to take advantage because if he had kept his foot in there, he would have driven straight into the back of him, so he had to lift off on the exit where Hideaki's car was just parked. Nelly. Yeah, Hideaki having issues in the race at the moment. And of course, Blue Rat hunting his first top 10 of the season. That would be a bit of a lift for him. A great lift, in fact, I would assume. I feel like even if he gets... okay, I'll make you a promise, Blue Rat. If you get this top 10, right, you'll be interviewed. Yeah, that's the least.
That'll be an interesting interview because I've actually spent the last 2 days with him as well, which means that he's a bug practice as far as I'm aware.
And he's about to make that dream a reality, is he? Unless he's braked a lot earlier though than Hideaki. Hideaki braking a lot later there. Let's go on board with him again. Oh, that's the wrong car, Jesus. Oh, that's the wrong car again. Oh, here we go, actually. Let's keep this angle, even though it's not the most realistic broadcast angle there. But yeah, we could see Blue Rat backing out of that one. So Hideaki, just from braking a lot later into turn 1, able to hold on to that one. But yeah, Blue Rat definitely seems to have something in hand in terms of pace at the moment. But can he, in the final 3 laps of the race, find a way through here? not much time to go, because of course remember 3 laps around here is like 3 minutes, so he really needs to make quick work of this one now. It's getting to the stage where he just has to try something. And he has to try and be more daring on the brakes to have a chance. This time he's not looking as close into turn 1 as the previous lap. Hideaki this time not feeling the need to go defensive. And I'm just quickly checking to make sure there's no super close battles elsewhere. Actually, TonyR and Tipple are close. Quick check on them. Oh, quick check! They're side by side into turn 1. And Tipple on the outside. TonyR has dropped down as because Tipple braked a lot later, going through there, held it there on the outside nicely. And that is Tipple up to 13th, TonyR down to 14th. And then we are back with a Blue Rat and Hideaki battle. Where Blue Rat has a task in his hand to get into the top 10 for the first time this season. Up at the front, of course, we still have Kaki in the lead. He's pulled off a zero-stop strategy here. The gap to Gronstra has been really rapidly closing in the final few laps here, but the gap he had from that lack of pit stop was enough for him, it seems. And now Hideaki was sliding through the chicane a little bit. Blue Rat in the slipstream once again. Is he going to try to find a gap on the inside? Yes, he is. Can Blue Rat brake later this time? He's so much tighter though, and again he's not quite as late on the brake, and it's so close together. A tiny bit of touch there maybe from Blue Rat on the rear. Oh, and he's up to 10th, is he, according to this? Blue Rat's gained a position, is he? He's in 10th despite not making the overtake. Mini Black's dropped down. I didn't see him. He must have been off the track somewhere. But yeah, major problem for Mini Black as well, who I also believe has not pitted yet. So Blue Rat has actually made it into the top 10 despite not making that move, but surely he wants to make it a top 9, because that would look even better to get it into single digit numbers. Here right at the end. Kaki has started the final lap of the race. These guys might be a lap down actually, but it doesn't really matter, because obviously the race will end once they cross the line on the first lap. After, oh, Blue Rat spins it! Oh, dear me, is he gonna hold on to 10th though? Is he? Oh, is this off the track again? Oh, and he's dropped out of the top 10, I see, because Mini Black's taking it back! Oh my word, Blue Rat, he's made a complete hash of that chicane. Big shame. He has a lap yet to go though to try and get back past Mini Black. But let's now skip on to Kakis, who's coming across the line to win round 8 of Season 5 in the PC GT3 Elite League at Donington. Perfect drive for him, a zero-stop strategy, one of the few guys who pulled that one off, and the man who pulled it off the best as well. Gronstar was not too far behind in the end, only a few seconds, but didn't manage to close that gap in the end. The guy actually in third here will be Papan, win it? Yeah, Papa's crossed the line there. And what was the battle? I want to see what Blue Rat's up to. He's not actually 12th. I believe he is in 11th. But
going 12th for me, but
yeah, that's just because lap cars have finished, and he's going to try to get the top 10. He's not giving up. This is going to be side by side with Mini Black going into the chicane there for the final time in the race for this final top 10 position. And he's going to go deep though. Mini Black's going to hold it around the exit. Oh, and he's going to pull it off as well. Mini Black's completely mugged him off there, I guess you can say. Perfect defense through the chicane, and yeah, held on to that one. Oh, and Tipple was not far behind either. Jesus. 13th place for him. 12th. Actually, it says... No, that can't be right. I definitely saw my screen that Mini Black close the line before. Blue Rat did, but either way, it says Blue Rat's 11th and Mini Black 12th for some reason. It's all getting a bit confusing. Let's bring up the final scoreboard, which will be correct, you'd hope. So, Kaki's 1. Gronstra 2nd. Papand in 3rd. Claessen's picked up 4th after lonely 2nd since after Tipple had his error off camera. Whatever happened to him. Or secondary pit stop, we're not quite sure. Bransky 5th. Fred Maisie Andrex there. Getting up to 8th then in the end. And Rhaegar got 10th. I'm not quite sure how that happened.
No, it was behind. I think it's to do with the starting positions where they were at the start of the race and where the 3 drivers were so close. Should have been Mini Black Blue Rat and then Rhaegar.
Yeah. Okay, so Rhaegar was actually the car that was very close behind these two, so he nearly
Yes.
managed to capitalize as well in that battle. So yeah, so the actual order there is swap Rhaegar and Mini Black around, and then you have the correct order. Unfortunately, then Blue Rat didn't get the top 10. I feel like he might need an interview still though, because that was an interesting end.
Yeah.
And yeah, frustration for Tipple, of course, after being so high up in the first half of the race. Frustration for Tony, never really got going in the race. Had damage early on and made an early pit stop. Centro and Ycoms picking up the final 2 points. And Dangerous Ginetta getting lapped 3 times. Oh my word, there's a crash in the pit lane now. So, that's good. Well then, here we have Kaki.
Hey, wait, sorry, I'm exiting the game to hear you.
Alright.
Because we can save replays.
Of course, that's good. Not that you're gonna be seeing much in terms of cars with these conditions.
What happened on the stream?
Well, a lot of fog and a few battles here and there, you know.
Ah, so the fog actually was really strong and you couldn't see the cars?
We could see some lights and some car outlines.
Oh my god.
But it wasn't the most colorful stream, I guess we can say.
Oh, that's really funny.
But yeah, you obviously back at the top step of the podium for the first time in 3 races, I believe, after Gronsers won the previous 2. So well done on that. And what did the race look like from your view?
I am absolutely happy and proud of myself today because I didn't know I could win this. McLaren isn't the best car on this track, as the altitude is really low and the turbo advantage is... well, there's no absolute turbo advantage. And I didn't pit, and my rival Gronstra did pit. The race was really fun. Gronstra was really pushing me hard from behind. Oh my god, that sounded weird, a bit. Well, he was really strong and
Something
almost
that
cut
happens
me.
on track.
But about lap 30, I seen that his pace was dropping. So I actually was really surprised that his tires were worse than mine. And he went into the pits. And I didn't. And I was dropping the pace, of course, because of the tires. So when he exceeded the pits, my gap to him was about 35 seconds. And at the end it was only 5 seconds, so you see. He gained about 30 seconds. But the race was really fun. It was a struggle to keep the car on the track with these tires. But I'm really happy today.
Well, that's great to hear, obviously, yeah. Yeah, because you were one of the few guys who actually managed to pull off a zero-stop strategy. We believe Bransky tried to do it, but he decided to pit in the end after a bit of deliberation.
Really?
Yeah.
So,
I believe
wow. And Z4 has great tires, I think.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, that's
He
really...
managed to do it in the McLaren. Obviously, Gronstra did close the gap a lot towards the end, but the gap was big enough. Were you at any point fearful of him actually getting close to you at the end?
Well, when it was about 2 laps to the end and I saw the gap about 8 seconds, I was sure I will win if I don't make a mistake.
Yeah.
And I didn't, so yeah.
Yeah, that's the thing. Obviously, it's still a good effort to not make mistakes on those kind of tires, that's for sure.
Yeah, I'm happy.
Yeah. Well, back in the top step, and of course, a bit of a shame, of course, with Kanuma, who has been your closest championship rival and missing today. So you're gonna have a pretty big gap in the championship now.
Yeah, that's a shame he couldn't attend to this race. It would be fun, but I think Aston Martin isn't the best either car for this track.
But yeah, well done anyway on another win, and yeah, looking good for the championship, and of course 4 races to go, still need to get through them. So yeah, good luck for the rest of the season.
Great, thank you guys. See ya.
See you, man.
Good boy.
Yeah. Hello, Maisie.
Oh, hey guys.
Hey, man. How are you feeling?
Yeah, good.
I was hoping you would tell us, because we didn't see anything.
Yeah, I thought so. When I saw the results, it's just white and milk.
Yeah.
It should be funny to watch.
Someone poured some milk over the track. No, we did see a few cars here and there, a few decent battles around the place.
Yeah, I was
But,
actually lucky to race with the single digits positions today.
Yeah.
Thought it was fun. But yeah, after the start, it was great. And then I think Ycoms spun behind me, and he collected some cars. Unfortunately, also on
yeah.
Rex. But yeah, he had a great comeback as he went for the pits just to repair the car. No changing tires, so yeah, he was.
Andrex did.
I think, yeah, Andrex.
Oh well.
So yeah, we finished P7, P8. So result for M3 guys.
Yeah, not bad. Obviously, we did see that big crash towards the start. Well, kind of anyway.
Yeah.
Bit difficult to see exactly what cars were caught up in that, but Andrex being one of them.
Yeah,
so, great
and
comeback.
a few others, yes, as well.
Yeah.
And yeah,
Yeah,
and then the race was just following cars. I think I was following Brownski. I had Midi Black there. And it was just like in Z4 League, to be honest, because every time I was passed, it was Z4, and another guy who was, chasing me was Z4. So yeah, but I had great battles with Freddy,
Yeah.
who actually overtook twice in the turn 1 on the outside.
Yeah, we saw that.
So yeah, I learned that for the third time when he made some mistakes. So I went defending the outside, and he just dive-bombed me in the inside. So yeah, I just saw that on the last second. So yeah, that was pretty much neck and neck overtake. But yeah, he was much faster than me in the end. So good result for him as well.
Yeah, looks like a pretty optimistic move, that one. But
Yeah,
I think you did well to see him coming.
Yeah,
at least.
Thankfully the car just didn't turn. So it was so lucky.
Well, I can really say certainly you and Andrex are doing a better job with the BMW M3 than those guys who drove it last season.
Yeah, that's the point.
Yeah. So all things considered, it's not all too bad. But yeah, hopefully you'll also have some more interesting races for the rest of the season. And yeah, well done in your top 10 today.
Okay, thanks guys.
Alright man, see ya.
Yeah, see you.
Hello, Blue Rats.
Hello, gents. How are you?
Well, we're good, I guess. How are you after that foggy experience?
Yeah, I'm still twitching. That was intense to say the least for the last 10 laps.
You've been here after the last 10 laps, I'd say.
I was gutted at the end though. That was just stupid.
So what happened then at the chicane?
I was trying everything to get past him, and my tyres were on fire, my brakes were on fire, and I thought I'm gonna lose this sooner or later, and then I thought, well, I'll give it everything, because it was like the difference between P10 and P9, and I was like, I'd love to get into single figures. No, not been anywhere near that this year. And then when it went, that was it then. I was just trying to keep the engine going so I didn't stall it, and span again, and yeah, another lap and I got past Mini Black, but it was a bit too close.
Yeah.
Very close at the end.
Yeah, I thought I was going to be in for a really rubbish slow race as well, because I was in the middle of two different packs at the start, and I was like, I was pulling away from TonyR and Hideaki, and everyone was pulling away from me, and I was like, well, this isn't going to be interesting. But then yeah, it got very interesting towards the end.
Yeah, you never quite know what will happen with such long races as well. And yeah, your best result of the season as well. Unfortunately, not the top 10, just about. But yeah, I think that's your best result of the season. Obviously, we know from having commentated there that from the TV camera's perspective, it was pretty difficult in the foggy weather. How was it for you as a driver with these conditions?
Well, I haven't had a huge amount of practice this week. Normally, I get a lot of race time in the socials and stuff like that, but me and Yorkie were in London, so I hadn't had a lot of time to practice. So that I knew Donington well, but even knowing it well, the fog you lose all the braking points, and you kind of sending it into corners, just hoping the corner's there sometimes.
Just hoping the corner's not gone off somewhere else.
Yeah, it's a great track. It's probably my favourite track, but in that amount of fog, it was a challenge to say. I'd say that was more intense for the hour than Nordschleife last week. Wow,
really? Okay. Very interesting. Yeah, certainly needs a lot of focus and concentration and knowledge of the track. But
yeah, one mistake and you'd lose 2-3 seconds. I mean, at least it's not like Nordschleife, right, where you make a mistake and you're in the wall. But yeah. I spent a good portion of the sort of middle section, just running wide on corners. And did anyone manage to make it without pitting?
Cocky did, yeah. He won it without pitting. In the McLaren as well.
I think Brownski tried doing it, but he started getting caught up by people and being overtaken, and I think they decided to then make a pit stop.
Yeah, they pitted with like 18 to go or something.
Yeah.
Yeah, I got to like lap 34 and thought I could theoretically make this, and I was in like 8th and I was getting well excited. But then, yeah, I just thought, I saw Tipple pit and I was like, well, if Tipple's pitting, then I need to pit.
Yeah, he's usually good on tyres, isn't he? But yeah, that's an interesting race from you, I guess we can say, and well done on the personal best results.
Thank you very much. Hopefully there'll be some more.
Yeah, that'd be good. Get in the top 10, man. I'm sure you can do it in the last 4 races. But yeah, well done, and see you later.
Cheers. See you later.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
Next week, though, the challenges don't stop, Yorkie. They do not stop. So we've gone from Nordschleife to Donington in the heavy fog, and have a guess what's next?
Bathurst!
Oh my goodness me, Bathurst is the next track. And for those of you who don't know Bathurst, it features a super tricky, hilly, tight, twisty, walls everywhere section. But yeah, I think that's about it for the stream today. Hopefully for next week, Yorkie's internet will hold off throughout the whole race, and hopefully
I hope so.
Well, surely it will be more visibility for us on track, so there won't be just a grey smoke screen on your screens when you watch. Which will be good. A bit more colourful. Yep. Any final words from you, Yorkie, before we head off?
Other than apologies for not being overly talkative, because obviously dropping out kind of fell out of the commentator's zone, as it were. I was able to pick up on a few things during the race watching the stream, but it's also a little bit difficult when you're kind of 20 seconds behind and you're just kind of filling in with detail with like a second set of eyes, almost like a mini review, and I have no idea if there's battles and stuff going on, so yeah. A little bit tricky, a little bit frustrating, but hopefully everything holds up for next week.
Yep. And until next week, for more racing content, feel free to check out our YouTubes. I am AOR Fizzy, where I'll be also uploading the replay of this race if you for some reason missed it and don't like watching it back on Twitch. And Yorkie's channel, Yorkie065, where there's tons of Project Cars content for you to dig yourself into. But next week we will be back with Bathurst. Only 4 races to go in the season. Getting towards the business end. People fighting for positions. Even though Kaki looks to have the title in the bag, but you never know. So we've seen him crash before. He could well crash again. Anything can happen. So hopefully you'll all join us for Bathurst. Another beach challenge for drivers next week, 8 PM UK time on Wednesday. And for now, we appreciate you watching the race. Hope you enjoyed it, and goodbye.
Thank you. Bye-bye.